What up, y'all? It's your boy Shake, and welcome back to Wagglefest Gaming. Today, I've got exciting news to dive into that might just blow your mind. People have been chattering about the recent news that came from Fightful, basically confirming we'll get new characters or a second season pass for AEW Fight Forever. What if I told you there's evidence pointing to who some of these characters may be? As always, before I go any further, I want to reiterate, this is all speculation. I have no insider information whatsoever. But after some sleuthing, I'm beginning to think that AEW Fight Forever Season 2 DLC characters are tied to the Jazzwares toy line. That's right, the wrestling ring meets the gaming arena and the implications are game-changing. So sit back, relax, and let's explore this potential reveal and crossover. To understand how this connection may work, we need to start with the AEW toy line by Jazzwares. They've been making waves in the action figure world with their detailed and highly articulated figures. But here's where it gets interesting. Jazzwares doesn't just create these figures for fun. They're used for something more significant. These figures are more than collectibles. They're tools of creation. That's because they may be the key to giving us Fight Forever's in-game character models. I'm beginning to suspect that the wrestlers are scanned for the toy line and for the game at the same time. It's not improbable. This leads to the question, could the introduction of new figures in the toy line hint at upcoming DLC characters in AEW Fight Forever Season 2? Picture this. You walk into your local toy store or check your favorite online retailer and you spot brand new AEW action figures on the shelves. It's a wrestler that wasn't in Fight Forever. What does that mean? It means we might be onto something big. If this is in fact the scenario, each new action figure release is like an Easter egg, a teaser, a clue about what's to come in the game. Now let's delve into a well-known development that provides a solid case for this Season 2 DLC speculation. Enter Anthony Bowens, one half of the Acclaimed. Back in August, he casually dropped a major hint on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, revealing that he and Max Caster had done voice work for Fight Forever. Here's where things get really interesting. Alongside Anthony Bowen's admission to vocal contributions to the game, the Acclaimed action figures are about to make their debut in the Jazzwares AEW toy line. While it might not seem like much, I think it sets the stage for something extraordinary. Wrestling figure collectors are abuzz with anticipation for the Acclaimed's toy debut. But that's not all. They're not alone. New figures are also coming to the toy line for the first time, including Samoa Joe, Willa Yuta, The Butcher and the Blade, and Claudio. Some of them have just been released and others you can even pre-order. This opens up even more exciting possibilities for the Season 2 DLC. Just think about it. If Bowen's voice work ties him to Season 2 DLC, it's reasonable to assume that other wrestlers debuting in the toy line might have a connection as well. Could Samoa Joe, Willa Yuta, and Claudio be part of this second season? It's not much of a leap to imagine that wrestlers making their toy line debut are potentially considered for Fight Forever. This isn't just wishful thinking, it's a logical progression, an amplified domino effect. The funny thing is, there's a bit more evidence that gives credence to my wild speculation. Almost all of the wrestlers that have action figures in the unrivaled and unmatched toy line are featured in Fight Forever. There's legitimately only a handful of wrestlers that have action figures but didn't make the game's roster. Specifically, Shawn Spears, Jake Hager, Red Velvet, Private Party, and Santana and Ortiz, and a few others. However, it's interesting because Private Party and Santana and Ortiz have entrance animations and announce names recorded in the game, as if they were originally planned for Fight Forever. I've already done a deep dive explaining why I think the game had a rushed release to hit fiscal quarter benchmarks. Now, I'm beginning to think that AEW is trying to create synergy between the toy line and Fight Forever. What's even more interesting is the fact that all of Fight Forever's roster has figures in the exact attire they wear in-game. In fact, the only case of an in-game character not having an action figure is Keith Lee, but one is planned to release soon. What's even more wild, Jazzware just released a Hookhausen 2-pack. Very, very evil. Is it just a coincidence that the Hookhausen DLC dropped a few weeks ago? I think not. I hope you guys are really following what I'm putting down. The steps are firmly in place for the reveal of Season 2 DLC. And with these new figures making their debut, my anticipation is growing exponentially. Despite the lack of communication, I think Jazzwares, AEW Games, and Ukes are working together to surprise us with a cast of fresh characters more reflective of the current programming. Not to jump the gun here, but imagine the thrill of playing as the Acclaimed, Samoa Joe, Willa Yuta, Claudio, the Butcher and the Blade in the game, complete with their unique moves, taunts, and personalities. If they add more match types, address the necessary bug fixes, and overhaul the creation suite, this could be the addition that elevates Fight Forever to where people expected it to be at launch. I know folks have been all doom and gloom about Fight Forever, constantly claiming the game is dead. But this combination of events is more than just coincidence. It seems like a well-orchestrated strategy that we've probably overlooked. Now, let's not get it twisted. The game is far from perfect, but I think we may see a renewed marketing push as we get closer to the holidays. As we eagerly await a Season 2 DLC announcement, I encourage you to share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below. Who else from the AEW roster do you hope to see in the game? And that's a wrap for today's video. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay in the loop. As always, thank you for watching. Peace.